Welcome to another video in the complete canonical timeline video series that I'll be doing on this channel this year. These videos will go through every major event in galactic history, with each video focusing on one era or year at a time. Let's dive in. During the fall of the Old Republic, the Mandalorian Jedi War occurred sometime around 5000 BBY, which included Mandalorian crusades that devastated Obdurra. Mandalore is reduced to a barren wasteland in the final stages of the war. Several centuries after 5019 BBY, a war occurs between the Chiss Ascendancy and the Chiss Enemy, which ends with the final assault on Celia, where the Starflash is used. The Ascendancy wins the war, but the Starflash damages the output of Scylla's sun almost a century before 4000 BBY. Human explorers from Grismalt and the Corps discover a mid-rim world they name Naboo, later known as Naboo. The native Gungans retreat into their swamps and lakes. Fleeing civil war on Grismalt, human refugees make Naboo their new home, discovering the presence of Gungans while settling in. The humans and the Gungans make war against each other in the next few decades before agreeing to live separately. Gungan society has flourished on the world in the preceding millennia after the sudden departure of the Elders, a reptilian sentient civilization that colonized Naboo and waged war against the Indigenes. Before the Elders' arrival, the Gungans had lived on Naboo in large nomadic tribes for millennia. Later, the Gungan tribes are united under Bosco Lo and commence the building of Oda Gunga as their capital city. Meanwhile, the humans calling themselves the Naboo split into warring factions, and the time of suffering begins. Around the same time, or according to the Cal Droma epics, Ossus is devastated by the Crone supernova, which were triggered by Naga Sato. The Four Masters also construct the Jedi Temple atop the ruins of the Sith Shrine on Coruscant in an attempt to contain and eliminate its power, as well as take advantage of the area's strength in the Force. By 3966 BBY, galactic travelers navigate hyperspace using hyperspace sextants, and the Sith accounts describing the kyber weaponry built by Darth Tanis within the Sith Temple on Malachor are made. Eventually, a cataclysmic event at the Battle of Malachor, later known in legends as the Great Scourge of Malachor, occurs during the era of great conflict that began around 5000 BBY. Jedi Knights of the Old Republic era uncover the battle station and confront the Sith. All participants are petrified by the superweapon, including a witch who led the Sith forces, although an entity known as the Presence remained in a Sith holocron within the Malachor Temple. Afterwards, Jedi are forbidden from traveling to Malachor, and data on the location is removed from the archives. By the time of the Great Scourge, the crossguard lightsaber design has become common among Makashi practitioners. In 3700 BBY, Ord Mantell becomes a trading post for spacers, and the Lethal calendar is then introduced in 3277 BBY. In 2320 BBY, Tanab is colonized by settlers, who introduce transplanted farm stock to the world, transforming it into an agricultural outpost. By 2082 BBY, the citizens of Begamor have begun to live in peace, and the local corporation has begun their legitimate rule over the Haven systems. The Fire space station is constructed in the Haven system. It expands over a period of 2,000 years, housing millions of permanent residents and becoming an integral transit point between the star system's political and economic centers. Fire eventually becomes famous to the wider galaxy for being a wholly artificial construct. A metal currency, the design of which was based on an ancient item of Haven system philosophy, is used on Fire. It is eventually phased out in favor of the standard Heaven-Earth currency as well as Republic credits later on. Around this time as well, the Forest Virgins, Akablas, on Otura, comes to be a known destination for Jedi Masters and Sith Lords, with Aratera aligning itself with the Galactic Republic or whichever Sith Empire had controlled the surrounding star systems. Bardota's Jor-Un also becomes a trading hub and the planet's major spaceport, and Crown Drift asteroid field is established in the Oriel sector, preventing expeditions to the ancient Jedi world of Ossus. Iktaksh is incorporated into the Galactic Republic, and Welk is colonized by sentients. Between 2022 and 2019 BBY, the Clory Clan Battle Shield is introduced. The Wookiees of Kashyyyk would reserve the battle shield for use in important rituals and ceremonies. In 2000 BBY, Uthi 7 is settled by farmers who lead simple lives and whose architecture as sheds would outlast the Republic's existence. The Jedi Code used by Force wielders on Mortis to draw in Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano during the Clone Wars is last used around this time. The Dagoian Order takes hold of Bardota after a series of successful and strategic small-scale wars, with the once ruling Feingron cult going into hiding, and Arakan monks set in stone a clock atop Mount Arkrikos. According to legend, whoever watches each swing of its pendulum for a day will have the lifespan of a universe revealed before their eyes. Around 1050 BBY, the Mandalorian Jedi Tar Vizsla creates the Darksaber, and about 50 years later, the collapse of the Galactic Republic begins as the galaxy enters the Dark Age. Let me know what you think of these videos in the comments below, and what other video series you would like to see. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for coverage of The Mandalorian Season 3, and remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.